Okay, we're back. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm your host, the hostess with the mostest. I'm Uncle Bruce. How you doing, everybody? They call me Uncle Bruce. I don't know why, but they do. Welcome to the show. It's what is it now? January, February. It's January the 26th, 2023. Bingo. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow's option expiry date. Another week of options disappear. We are a little bit on the green side this morning for the markets. Looks like the Dow's up 45 points. We were up a little more than this earlier, but we're up 45. We're up 16 on S&P, and over at the Nasdaq we have a 94-point gain. The Nasdaq market is the leader with a 0.8 of 1% indicated up move. Not quite a percentage point. S&P 0.38%, the Dow 0.12. Oil up $1.28 to 81.43. We're in the heart of winter. Oil is 81.43. Springtime, $60 a barrel. If we can't hit 100 now, when will you hit 100? There's supposed to be shortages. It's supposed to be cold out. It's supposed to use all this oil up. China's reopening. Everything's just great. And it's not happening. There's oil everywhere. What else is going on? Oh, well, of course, last night, Tesla comes out with their fourth quarter earnings. And of course, with record car production, you have record revenues. They don't produce a car unless it's kind of pre-sold. That's kind of how it works over there. They had like 30,000 inventory at the end of the quarter, but that's been eaten up with the price cuts. So there's no inventory around. So very good. Gross revenues higher, net profits a new all-time high. Margins maybe not as good as before, but then whose are? No one's margins are at record highs in a pending recession with parts shortages all last year until the last few months. The good news for Tesla is costs of their goods has gone down in the last 90 days. Easing up, let's say. Chips are easier to get now. They're not as expensive, that kind of thing. The other thing about Tesla to look forward to as to what might cause optimism for the company is the Berlin factory is ramping up. The Austin factory is ramping up. So cars and pickup trucks and Model Ys, Model 3s and all that, they'll be made in Berlin, Austin, Shanghai, and in California. So good stuff. They are expecting 1.8 million this year, maybe 2 million cars to be produced this year. They'll sell them. The price cuts are there. Tax incentives are there, and on we go. So the shares of Tesla, 155.46 right now, up $11. Now, on the one hand, you go, oh, wow, gee, look at that, 155. This stock was as low as 101 just a month ago. That was an oversell. I figured on the way down from the high 200s that 140, 150 would be the bargain, and it got to 101. Now we're at 155. I think we're back in the bargain area. Can the shares go from here to 175 to 200? Theoretically, yeah. Emotionally and psychologically and herd mentality, investing and all that sort of stuff, I don't think so. I don't know if there's enough of a oomph from desperado investors to do it. Now, Tesla has become the new GameStop around here. It's sort of reminding us of what GameStop used to be like. And, we're watching good swings on the stock, typical Tesla, $10, $20 move in a day, typical day. High margins on options. Yep, that's right there. And so a number of you have been making a move into some Tesla down here because it's kind of safe to buy Tesla in the low hundreds as opposed to the 300s, and then write options on it. And now a number of you have written contracts. A month ago, or 2 months ago, you were writing 160s, 50s, 40s, 20s, 110s. Now you're writing 10s and 20s, 130s and 140s and 150s again. This is what we do. We follow the market, write options, let them depreciate and move on. So theoretically, if we're going to open today in this 155 range and try to go to 160-ish, there may be opportunities for a number of you out there who are option writers, who are sitting on options right now that you wrote in the last week or two, anywhere from 130 expiry, like 130 exercise prices, 125 exercise prices, and up. Some of you might be able to pull off a rollover today, and you may be able to execute a rollover where you go from a 135 to a 150 or a 160, but several months out in time. But the reward could be really substantial in that you might get $5, $10, $15 cash in your hand in cash, again, depending on which call you have, which call you're writing, and how far out you want to go. But if you can bring in cash of that magnitude, 1,000 a contract, 1,500 a contract, and move up in strike price, great. Those of you who are only breaking even in strike price, don't consider yourselves losers. If you're able to move up in strike price nicely because of a break-even trade, you buy a call back for 20 and sell for 20, buy one for 25 and sell it for 25, buy one for 45 and sell one for 45, but you move up 15, 20, $25 in strike or more, you're a winner. $2 to $20 pop in strike prices, $2,000 a contract to you. Keep in mind also, you can't write Tesla calls unless you've got something to write against. You either have deep in the money calls that are moving up nicely right now, or you've got the stock, which is moving up nicely right now. So your shares are rising, your deep in the money calls are rising, and now you're looking to do rollovers to lock in these higher strike prices. Could be, though, in the first hour, we touch 160.65. I don't think we will hit 165. Maybe 160. We'll see. If you get there and you write 150s, 155s, 160s, you can actually pull that off. Great. Later today, we might be back to 145, 150 again. We might be there tomorrow. Or Monday morning, the market has a lousy start to the week and the Federal Reserve interest rate thing is all over the market and people forget about the Tesla news from last week. And, we got to 160.62 for like a nanosecond and then we backed off here to this 140.43 range. And you wrote 150s. Watch them hit 40.45. You moved into there and now they're back into the 35 range and backing off. You're a happy camper. You're happy doing this now. You're going, I'm already up $8 a contract. Let another week go by, and if this thing wants to give me another $3 or $4 a contract, I'm taking this money. I'm just enjoying the game. I don't have to do a trade. We'll find out. You've got some homework to do. You keep your eye on the option chain and see what gives. Okay. GameStop is at 2062. Up 39 cents this morning, nothing incredible. Volume 16,000. There's no news. There never is news on GameStop. We know that. They don't talk. What is going to happen with the stock today? I think the stock is probably following the market in general. We're no longer oversold on Tesla. We were oversold at Christmas, New Year's time in that 15, 16 range. We were oversold. We bounced back already to $22, and now we're in this 2060 range. And we've been 19 to 22 now the last week, 19 to 22. We may have found the new home for a while. And so those of you out there have to adjust your contract positions to follow the stock. We let the stock tell us what it wants to do, and then we react to it. So if you've written 18s, and they were 450 in the money. Now they're only 250 in the money because we're at 260. So they're 260 in the money. We're 2062. They're 260 in the money. They're trading at $4, $4.50. Can you do a rollover of a February 18 to a March or an April 18 or 19? Can you do a May or June to a 19 or a 20? Look into it. If you can score $1 a contract in cash and even more, I'd encourage you to take a look at that. If you can definitely move up $1 or $2 in strike price, that's the move you want to make. Because if we have a bad down day on the Dow next week, the NASDAQ, the S&P, whatever, in the next week or two, we have a lousy couple of days. This stock could go to 1650. It can easily hit 1650 on an intraday quick trade. You'll have stink bids in there. So if you've written 19s or 20s and the stock drops to 1850, and then in an intraday sell-off it hits 1650, you're going to be picking those off for half the price you sold them for because of the move of the stock. Of course, stink bids are your friend. They save lives. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Otherwise, look, the shares want to stay between 19 and 22 here. Fine. Okay, fine. I'll write. Your attitude is I'll write the 19s, 20s, and 21s. If I can write 22s, even better. I'll go out 3, 4 months, 5 months. I'll write 22s. Give me the money. Give me the strike. Give me the money. And hey, you back off to $18.50, $19. My 22s, I'm laughing here. This is great. It takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now before I even buy them back, but I bought them back for dollars less. I got 6 for them, and I'm picking them up for 3, or I got $4.80 for them, and I'm buying them at $1.60. You're making dollars of returns, and that's the point. And you can acquire more deep in the money calls to keep writing. Fine. Now, those of you out there who are following me, and you listened to me yesterday when Wing Commander let us know how he did on his Microsoft trade. He's an employee of Microsoft. He's got 200 plus shares of the company that he's earned over years and years and years. He shifted his account so that he could write options on those 200 shares. After weeks of watching us, months, it occurred to him, I could write options on the stock I work for. Because he's been receiving dividends for years and years and years on the stock. And so what does he do? He shifts his position over so he can write Microsoft calls. The yield on the stock is 1.1%, by the way. That's the yield, the dividend. You don't buy Microsoft for dividends, okay? Anyways, he makes the move, writes 2 calls last week, hauls in $1,300, buys them back yesterday for 400 and something bucks, cleared $900 in less than a week. He mentions to us, that's more money than I've been paid in dividends for 3 years. Well, yeah, that would make sense. 1% on your money every year for 3 years. How is anyone going to retire on that? I mean, nobody. I don't care who you are. Even if you have 1,000 shares, 5,000 shares, how are you going to live on this? This isn't enough income. We're here on 200 shares. He pockets $900. That's a nice little trade. You want to make that kind of money on stocks. You don't have to be into Tesla. You don't have to be into, you don't have to buy a $150 stock that's 15 grand for 100 shares to write a contract. I will continue to yell at you guys, politely yell at you, and say, hey, you can pick up deep in the money apples now. I would be looking at 120.25s if you can get them under the 90-10 rule. And those Apple contracts, I hope you can get Apple contracts for under $4,000 if they're available. You look for them, keep your eye open. You never, ever know when this happens. But HBQ at $28.69 a share yesterday, you can buy $20 in the money calls on HPQ. Even with a little premium on them, they'll be under $1,000. You got 10 grand lying around, you can buy 10 HBQ calls and write 10 calls at a time. This starts to make sense. Google, $96 a share right now, or 97 or so. If you can pick off 80, 85s, I'd be looking at 80, 85s, deep in the money calls on Google. Go out as far as you can. Get them for under 2 grand each and write. Cisco, $47.98 a share. Let's call it a $48 stock ballpark. I'd be picking up $40 calls on those, $40 deep in the monies and writing on those. That's hopefully less than $1,000 all in. Pfizer, $45 a share, 38s to 40s. That's the ones I'd be looking at, under $1,000 a contract. Load up, just load up. These shares are trading at such low prices. You can write on these. And look, if you pay $1,000 for a call, $1,000, and you can bring in $1.50 for a 3-month contract, $2, 3-4 month contract, that's 20% of the money you just put up. That's like getting on Tesla $30 a contract. If you can get 20% of the value of the stock, that's huge. Now, in the case of deep in the money calls, like I said, a $2 premium on a Pfizer with a $10 acquisition cost for this deep in the money. You pay 1,000 to get the call. You write a call for $200. There's 20% on your money return. That's in play now. You've just taken the risk down to $8 a contract. Smart move. Even if you only make a profit of $1 on that contract, you sell them at $2, buy them back at $1. Sell them at $2.25, buy them at $1.25. You make $1. That's 10% return on your money in what? A month or two, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on fluctuating stock prices, time depreciation. If every month you can take $1 off of Pfizer, even every 6 weeks you can take $1 off of Pfizer, you're going to do very well this year. You're going to write a number of contracts, 7, 8 a year. That's 700, 800 a year on $1,000 investment. Hello? Do the math. We're talking 70, 80% yield return on a very conservative company where you're not gambling that Pfizer's going out of business or that they're going to be delisted or no, they're huge. Same thing with Cisco. Same thing with HPQ. You can pick these guys up for cheap and buy a bunch of calls and sleep at night knowing they're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. When you can play a Dow 30 company for less than $1,000 deep in the money call, and the possibility is the shares could go up $10 this year on any kind of a move in the summer or fall, that means your deep in the money call will go up $10 as well. You could practically double your money on those. Well, hello, mama. I made $700, $800 on my calls, and my call went up by 100% on top of that, $1,000. Thank you very much. That makes for a really good year. Make a $1,700 return on $1,000 investment. Yeah, that's called good money on conservative product. And rather than trying to live off of dividends or have an income supplement to you from dividends, you've got an income supplement from premiums and dividends. Kind of nice. Again, you'll only get the dividend if you're a shareholder. If you're a deep in the money call holder, you'll get the capital gain being a deep in the money call holder if the shares rise in value. But you can certainly pull in the nice premiums. U.S. durable goods orders rose 5.6% in December, but dipped excluding transport. U.S. initial jobless claims fall to their lowest level since last April. Very interesting. U.S. jobless claims. People are not filing for unemployment because we're fully employed. It's really interesting to see. All we hear every day now, I've told you this, and we've gone over this. Every company is announcing layoffs. It's the thing to do. A couple of years ago, every company announced stock buybacks. That was the thing to do. Now we're laying off people. We're great. We're laying off people. We're going to cut our expenses. That's the new game in town in corporate America. We're going to cut our expenses. And how are we going to do that? We're going to lay off people. What they're not telling you is how they're going to lay off people. But they're not getting into the details here. Because the reality is, they might decide to lay off 10% of the staff in certain departments, but those departments are on the decline as it is. They've already farmed out the work. Don't forget, IBM or Apple or Google or others could say, we let 5,000 people go this year. But nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, what we did is we hired 5,000 people under contract. We hired consultants instead. We hired an employment agency to replace our pool of people over here. We contracted out the work from in-house to out of the house. So those people don't work for us directly. They work for us indirectly as contractors. Now, that's a good move for certain corporations. It's a smart move for some companies to do that kind of thing because you've offloaded people from your benefits packages, because contract workers just get paid cash. Firms that say deliver 15 workers to you through a contract deal, all right, those people have to be looked after by that employer, not this employer. So don't be misled by this. Oh, we're laying off all kinds of people, but that is what is going on out there. And so these headlines are coming out about how these the job numbers are so low, or the unemployment benefits are very low, and um, you know the unemployment rate is as bad is as low as it is. There's a reason why it's as low as it is. People who get laid off from Amazon get a job at a company that does work for Amazon under contract. Now, what I try to tell you guys to do, if it's at all possible, for some of you, and maybe it is where you find you are the consultant. You become a consultant to the company you used to work for, or to another company that you've never worked for. So you used to be an accounting professional, a marketing professional for company one. Now you're a consultant to company two, or part-time company two and company three and company four, because that's the other thing that's going on. The folks at Apple and Google and Amazon and Facebook and on and on and on, the dozens that you've never heard about, these guys, they're letting people go, full-time employees, to replace them with part-time consulting employees instead. And some of you are cobblestoning together 3 corporations on a retainer basis. You're putting 15 hours a week into this one, and 15 into that one, and 10 hours into that one per week. And you're giving them an hourly rate that they just pay you. And if there's more work, you're charging them for overtime, extra hours. And if there's less work, you have the retainer, which is your guarantee that there's an X amount coming in. It's their guarantee. You're on call. You're ready to go at a moment's notice. You're always available for 15 hours a week or 10 hours a week or whatever the deal is. Not uncommon. It's the way of the future, and it allows you guys to incorporate an entity to be called a consulting company, and you're an employee of the consulting company. There you go. And you may hire your better half for other work. So you may find that you put in 30, 40 hours of consulting work for that company to do consulting work, but you may find that your spouse is putting in 5 or 10 or 20 hours, or a friend of yours, or a former coworker of yours. You have a job that requires 40 hours a week of consulting work, and you've only got 20 hours of time available. So you find an old pal who you used to work with, who would be delighted to work from home, and the two of you can collaborate together online. And so now there's 20 hours for you, 20 hours for me. Your consulting company bills the corporate entity the so much per hour for that job, and then you pay your friend under your corporate umbrella to work for you. And again, if the work dries up, then there's no harm, no foul. The work is there until it's not there anymore, and you're out there hustling for other hours from other outfits if you want to be. Maybe you'll find 5 former coworkers that you're working with in a tandem, and you're the ringleader. And it might well be that you're charging $80 an hour as a corporate rate, but you're paying $60 an hour to your pals. You're keeping the $20 an hour, your corporation is, the extra $20 an hour as its overhead and managing fee, because your friends don't want to run their own consulting company. They just want a job for, can you give me 20 hours a week at $60 an hour? I'm a happy guy. Or 15 hours a week at $35 an hour, whatever the rate is. I'm just throwing numbers out at you. The spread is your call to make. The deal you make with the company is yours to make. You know what you're worth on an hourly basis if you work for somebody full time. You have to find out what you're worth per hour if you're a corporation. So if you get sick and the company replaces you with a temp worker from a temp agency that can do your job, how much an hour is the company paying that temp agency to replace you because you're sick? You'll be shocked. It might be double or triple what you're being paid. That's what you're charging now as a consultant. So that you might work half the hours you used to work, and you make double the money you used to make, because you're getting triple the rate. It's revealing for people. Apparently, I heard this morning, a lot of people are looking for a change in career. They want to change their employer because they've gotten used to working at home. They liked it. They've adapted to it. And now they find out from their employer that the employer wants them to come back to the office. And these folks are reluctant to do so. So what they're doing is they're actively looking for a replacement job to stay at home. And there's a demand from employees for home type functioning jobs. And corporations are actually trying to hire more people to come to the office than to work from home. And so there's this little thing going on. But I can certainly see where a lot of folks with some experience and a Rolodex of contacts over the years might well be able to work from home through a consulting arrangement. Because for some corporations, that's the perfect solution to a shortage of manpower. So we'll just hire Joe Schmo to do the work through a corporation entity, because corporations pay other corporations handsomely for services. They don't pay handsomely to people, but they pay handsomely to other corporations. Become a corporation is what I say. All right, thank you all for popping in. Right now we are at 32 minutes to go before we're going to open for trading. We're up 73 on the Dow. We're up 20 on S&P. We're up 113 on Nasdaq. Let's see. The economy grew more than expected. The Fed's work might not be finished. That's a headline on Barron's. The U.S. trade deficit in goods rebounds in December. The U.S. economy grew a steady 2.9% at the end of 2022. GDP shows, but don't look for a repeat soon. These are headlines just coming out right now, one after the other out there. The Dow, I sense, is up 70 points. It looks like it's up 70. Nasdaq up 114. Other things I heard today. This gets me going. There's a lot of articles being written right now, and a lot of analysts covering the airline business in the USA, and it's not pretty. We are hearing outfits like American Airlines and Delta and United. Some of these airlines are posting higher revenues because the demand for air travel has increased. Fair enough. It makes sense because we're open internationally now. Canada, the USA, we have international flights in and out. China wants to get on board with all this. And so, we can now fly again to destinations that we couldn't fly to 2 years ago. The problem is that the airlines are having difficulty meeting the demand because they laid off and furloughed hundreds of thousands of their workers right at the beginning of the pandemic. And now they're finding that after a year or two, it's kind of hard to replace all those people. Well, one entity that's having a real tough time getting people back, you wouldn't think about this, but the U.S. air traffic controllers, they're hired and trained by the U.S. government through the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. Did you know that for 18 months, not a single new air traffic controller was put in training at all by the FAA? They shut it down for 18 months, which means that even though Americans were flying domestically, you could grab a flight, we could fly from Canada down here. You could fly from LA to New York, Nashville to Chicago. All that was still ongoing. But while that was ongoing, the replacements for the air traffic controllers were not coming in for 18 months because governments shut it down. And I've talked about this a lot, about how every year, no matter what, 2.5% of the actual workforce that's out there at a minimum disappears from existence. Because when people reach retirement age, they retire. As they get closer to retirement age, we begin to notice people leaving the workforce, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, due to sickness, due to an injury, due to whatever the issue is. 2.5% of the workforce ages out every year. An average worker has a 40-year lifespan for employment. Well, in the air traffic controller business, it's the same thing. There's no difference there. If you're not bringing in 2.5% more employees every year to replace the 2.5% that are leaving, after a couple of years, you got yourself a 5% shortfall. And exactly This is exactly what's happening now with the FAA, with the air traffic controllers. Not only are they short 1.5 years of non-graduates coming in, it's been 2 to 2.5, almost 3 years. It's going to be 3 years soon of the pandemic, the shutdown, the slowdown, people quitting, people not wanting to work, and on it goes. We're going to have a 7.5% shortage of air traffic controllers in the US. And this is a safety issue. And airlines don't want to talk about it. And government doesn't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it because it panics air travelers for good reason. And so we have this dilemma here where the airlines are trying to ramp up and they can't ramp up. They have all kinds of problems. One, they can't get enough new aircraft. You can't just bang off 500 new planes in 2 months over at Boeing. It doesn't work that way. You're producing 1 or 2 737 Maxes a week. You got back orders of 800 aircraft. We're talking years of delays. You want to get a 777 airplane. You want to get the Dreamliners. These guys at Boeing have had problems with these planes with cracks and all kinds of other crap. There's been all kinds of delays and all kinds of issues, and they're just getting through all of that. So they're so far behind with their existing back orders, let alone anything new. Airbus is cranking out planes as fast as they can, but same thing, they're way back ordered as well. So if you're an airline in America, you need 150 new planes in the next 3 years, you got yourself a problem. You're actually scouring the world for used planes. You're trying to find 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old aircraft, refurbish them, and put the paint color on there of your airline and put them in the air because you're not going to get 150 planes from Boeing or Airbus in the next 6 months. It's not going to happen. There's issues there. The second issue airlines are having, how many hundreds of thousands of employees were let go and furloughed in the beginning of COVID, and those folks do not want to come back. They have since found other work. And can you blame these people? You couldn't get 40 hours a week out of United in Atlanta or Chicago. You couldn't get a full-time gig with these airlines because of all their restrictive hiring policies. They knew that if they hired you more than 22 hours a week, they'd have to give you benefits. So they only gave you 20 hours a week. They screwed around with their employees left, right, and center to keep costs down, down, down. Well, these employees said, the hell with you bastards. We're out of here. I'm getting a job at Starbucks. I'm getting a job at Marriott. I'm getting a job at wherever. And I can get 40 hours a week, and I can get health care, and I get pension benefits. I get dental benefits. I get all these full-time perks that you guys wouldn't hand out. I'm not coming back. And why would I come back to work for American Airlines as a person at the gate to be abused by the vitriol of the passengers? Are you kidding me? You can't pay me enough to do that. You used to pay 12, 14 bucks an hour because in the airline business with the unionized contracts, any newbie coming in got jack crap for money. You had to have 5 years experience, 10 years experience, seniority before you got the real union money. These people weren't interested. They're not interested in going 5 years at this crap. Not with 7, 8, 10% inflation. No way. Thanks, but no thanks. And so New York, Atlanta, Miami, Chicago, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Dallas, Houston, Denver, all the big airports, Seattle, San Francisco, LAX, they're all short-staffed. And all the airlines are short-staffed in their baggage department, which has been contracted out. Talking about contracting, airlines are contracting out baggage departments, and isn't it showing with lost bags? They're everywhere. It's a nightmare. So these airlines, they can't ramp up. They want to ramp up back to 2018-19 levels. They can't. They can't get the staff back. They can't get the aircraft. Oh, and there's an air traffic controller shortage, which means airports are delayed for flights. Did you know that at Newark Airport, they have 2 runways at Newark International? If it's bad weather, they can only operate 1 runway, not 2 runways. It's not 2 airports, runways. They have 2 runways. Only one is functional during bad weather, not both. Automatic delays because the planes are flying, waiting to come in, and they're on the ground waiting to get off to get off. Logistical nightmares all over the place. Infrastructure spending has been incredibly low and is way behind in America. And wouldn't you know it, it is now affecting the future of air travel in America, which unfortunately for Americans, what they don't utterly know when it's all said and done, if you don't bring into America millions of tourists a year and business travelers to come into you don't make any money off of these people. They don't spend money on rental cars. They don't spend money in hotels. They don't go to restaurants. They don't come in with their wives to New York for a weekend or a week and enjoy the ball games and Broadway shows and whatever have you. They're not coming to Vegas. They're not coming to LA. This means America is losing billions and billions and billions of income generation because the infrastructure can't handle the requirements. Let alone domestic airline problems, there's the international side. It is truly a huge issue. And the problem with the airline debacle that's going on right now, it requires 20-year solutions, not 20-minute solutions, 20-year commitments of financing and build out. And there is no president that can serve 20 years. There is no administration that lasts 20 years. Congressmen have a 24-month life cycle, and every 12 months, they start running for re-election to get re-elected in 12 months or less for the next election. And the agendas have nothing to do with enhanced transportation needs of Americans or international tourists. Absolutely at the bottom of the list. And it shows in the complete degeneration of the infrastructure of a big chunk of America. And there you have it. In Canada, it's not a lot better. Believe me, it's not a lot better, but it is run by the federal government from top to bottom. Airports are owned by the feds, but they're leased out to entities that have to pay the feds a certain amount of money. But there is infrastructure money being spent on Canadian airports and runways. The airlines in Canada, we got WestJet, Air Canada, that's about it. And then we have some smaller players. They're all trying to get by. Luggage is still being lost for Canadians too. Believe me, Canadians hate their domestic air system. Most Canadians and Americans who travel internationally, if they're in any way veterans of this, if you've traveled for the first time, you have no idea. But if you've traveled 10 times internationally, you know what you have to do. If you're an American or a Canadian, you go looking at Expedia.com or any of these other booking sites. What are you looking for? You're looking for a flight to Europe or somewhere else, not on a domestic carrier. You don't want to fly Air Canada. You don't want to fly United. You want to fly Cathay Pacific to the Orient. You want to fly Japan Airlines. You want to fly Emirates. You want to fly British Airways. Anything but an American or a Canadian carrier is what a lot of veteran, experienced international travelers do, because they know on board the plane, you got upset people. They're not happy. The stewardesses and flight attendants hate their lives, hate their unions, hate their jobs. The planes are older. There's 777s. There's 777s in the air for some of the airlines. Yeah. But if you're going to go with the international, you're going to be in a much newer aircraft. And the folks who have the international jobs for these foreign carriers, they're the best staff they have. It's the top staffs. In America, Canada, it's seniority. And you're getting a 20-year veteran who's pissed off at their job. Oh, you're going to have a great flight. Ooh, you're going to have a wonderful time. And then nickel and diming. The nickel and diming that's been going on internationally or domestically and so on is just driving people up the wall. They want to get away from that. And so air travel is in flux big time. And we're going to see how this all plays out. Anyway, that's just my little rant about airlines and what's going on. I heard also that the United States right now is pressuring Turkey to say, look, you guys still fly to Moscow from Istanbul and back. We don't want you using American-based planes. We don't want Boeing aircraft flying in and out of Moscow anymore. The problem is that Moscow, which owns Aeroflot, their domestic carrier, And then Turkish Airlines, through their system, they have a lot of Boeing airplanes in their fleets, and they're going to fly them wherever they see fit as long as they're allowed to. And Moscow to Istanbul is wide open. It has been throughout the entire war. Turkey will not cut off Moscow or Russia from its airspace. And the reason is simple. Erdogan, the dictator of Turkey, is also running and basically controlling interest rates and the economy of Turkey. And he is purposely keeping interest rates as low as they can to keep business going. But he needs foreign currency to keep his country afloat. And 25 or 28% of all tourism dollars that come into Turkey come from Russia. Russians flock to Turkey in the wintertime to get away from the cold winter. That's their holiday escape. They can't go to London. They can't go to Spain. They can't fly elsewhere. They can fly to Turkey. I think they can still go to Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they can go to Riyadh. But Russians love going to Turkey because the prices are cheap in Turkey, and they are sitting on rubles. So they're not sitting on those juicy American dollars like we are. They're sitting on their currency, and Turkey is more than happy to accept them. Americans who go to Turkey find that Turkey is a deal. There's deals in Turkey for Americans. Same with the Brits and the Germans. They love going to Turkey on the cheap. But the reality is Turkey needs everybody's money, not just American money or British money or the Germans or the French or the Italians. They need it from wherever they can get it. And the Russians are flocking to Turkey. There's nowhere else for them to go. Everyone else has been cut off. So the American government is trying to say to air carriers, don't fly Boeing airplanes into Russia because of the sanctions. And what's been kind of said to America is, screw you. We can do whatever we want. We paid for these planes. We can fly them wherever we want to fly them. And so the delicate balance behind the scenes is going on. It's an interesting war we have in Europe, isn't it? In Ukraine. There's a war going on, but it's not officially a war. It's a war between Ukraine and Russia. And then there are players on the side, like Germany with their tanks, America with tanks, Canada supplying weapons, and the UK and other countries. But we're not at war with Russia, and we're just helping our friends in Ukraine who are fighting somebody. Yeah, who you're fighting? You're fighting the Russians. And so the Russians know that they're up against the world. It's a world war against Russia through the Ukraine territory. The war isn't being fought on Russian land. It's being fought in a neutral country, a separate country, which is Ukraine. Unfortunately for the Ukrainians, it's amazing. And so these sanctions that have been announced sometimes are toothless. They sound great on paper. They sound great in a news conference, but in real practicality, they're useless. Until mechanics refuse to work on Boeing aircraft with real Boeing parts, Boeing aircraft will fly in and out of Russia for years to come. And it seems to me, and it looks to me, like when a 737 or a 777 or whatever airplane flies in and out of Russia needs to be repaired, somehow that aircraft or somehow the parts for that aircraft find their way to Russia so the plane can be fixed. And there are people there who are able to do it. And the planes keep flying. The games continue, everybody. What people say and what people do are two different things. Layoffs by U.S. corporations or letting go people job-wise, that's a statement, not a reality. Turning around and hiring consultants to replace people you've let go, that is not actual job cuts. That's why the job numbers are so good. People are having no trouble finding work. Stock buybacks are announced all the time. Companies announce, we're buying $5 billion of our stock back. No, they're not. They're indicating that they have passed a resolution at the board table to authorize up to $5 billion of stock buybacks for the next 2 or 3 years, but they are under no obligation to do it. So it sounds great. It looks great, but it isn't happening. And not a dime is being spent by a number of companies on any stock backs. They have the authorization, but they're not doing it. And they're keeping their money close to home to keep that treasury full of cash, because they used to be able to borrow money at 1% to 2%. Now they can't anymore. and they're not going to borrow money at 7, 8, or 9% to buy stock back on the open market. They're not going to do that. That is not happening. It can only be done from profits, and profits are harder to come by these days, from what we've noticed. All right, we are down to 13 minutes before we open for trading today. Welcome to the show. We're at 156.71. It looks like on Tesla, I think, from what I can tell you. We're trying to, I'm going to see if we can go higher. 158.40. We are inching closer to 160. We'll see how that plays out. GameStop is at 20.68, up 45 cents. It's better, but it's not blowing the doors off of anything. Other stocks that we're watching. Let's take a look at our pre-opening here. We have right now, let me refresh that before I do anything else. There we go. We've got 8-cent gain right now in Rocket Lab. We're at $4.99. SoFi seems to be up 6 cents or so. We got GameStop up 44. We have Matterport up 22. That's $3.29. That's nice to see. 23andMe up 4 cents to $2.40. Spire up 4 to $1.19. ATIP is up 0.3 of a penny, 48.3. Don't know how reliable that quote is. I don't have any changes on SmartRent or Sextera. Apple showing a 133 gain now to 143.19. Goldman up 56 cents. Cisco up a dime. Tesla's up 14.11 to 158.40. Almost 10% gain there. ARC up 112 to 38.63. Microsoft is up 127 to 241.89. Bed Bath Beyond up 11 cents to 334.35-ish. Pfizer down 24 to 44.42. It was up 36 cents yesterday. HPQ is up 16 on top of the 28 cents they gained yesterday, 28.85. Carvana up 46 cents. Google is up $1.30 to 98.06. It lost 2.48 yesterday. And Amazon gained 86 yesterday. It's up 113 more today. As we get ready to open it up. Pfizer downgraded to neutral from buy at UBS. That might be another reason why Pfizer's getting hit here. I think we had another downgrade on Pfizer a couple of days ago, or a neutral rating. General Electric stock price target raised to 95 from 87 at UBS. Comcast earnings top expectations despite losses at Peacock. These are just some headlines coming through here. The economy grew more than expected. The Fed's work might not be finished. MasterCard stock rises as earnings show remarkably resilient consumers. Walmart to open more than 30 Sam's Clubs, boost supply chain over the next several years. So that's interesting. Sam's Club, of course, is the Walmart answer to Costco. We'll see how that affects Costco. Time will tell. Welcome one, welcome all. We have 119 thumbs ups already on the show. Thank you all for throwing the thumbs ups at us already. Really appreciate this. It's nice to see that. Welcome all of you from around the world to the show. Trucker Tech, Uncle Bruce, do you have any openings for one-on-ones this Sunday, 10 or 12 Eastern, preferably? I do have an opening. 12, either or, 10 or 12. But the 2 p.m. is gone, but 10 or 12 is available. Send me an email and make a donation, and we'll get you set up. If you know how to do that. Otherwise, just send me an email and I'll send you the details for you. Just tell me what time you want, and I'll book you in. Here we go. Option Nomads, other half. Today is ex-dividend for Pfizer too. Estimated 41 cents a share will probably be down today. So there's another reason. Interesting. Let's see. Alberto at Chicago, logging in to give my favorite uncle a thumbs up. Go Tesla. Good morning, Bagel Familia. Get that dinero. Right on, Alberto. Thank you, my friend. Great to have you here. Appreciate it. Let's continue on. Any more comments here? Matthew, thank you for number 107. I appreciate this. If your boss lays you off with a timeline to hire you back, you can get on unemployment quicker, says Bobby. Matterport is looking good in the pre-market, says Cindy. Let's see. Wavioli is here. Well, Airbus was in the toilet when I got him. It's about 3 times the value since. Smiling right on. let's see. Frumbler, my boss ran out of work. I get a few weeks off without pay. And what else is happening here? Let's see. Wavioli was saying, I worked at Airbus over the pandemic. Airlines were trying to weasel out of contracts to buy planes, and now they're desperate to get them. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Yep, that's exactly right. Unreal. Let's see what else is going on. Bama Babe, Uncle Bruce, people like you and me, we never retire in real true sense. We always find ways to be productive. Yeah, you got that right. Love being productive. Absolutely. And let's see what's going on here. Manuel Cake Daddy Pruitt. Hey, how's it going, Uncle Bruce? I bet it all on Tesla, and things are looking pretty good right now. Hope it continues. Giddy up. Fantastic. Wing Commander, I see. This was mind-blowing. Rode a month out, bought back 1 week later for 70% gain. Paint me amazed. Wish I met Uncle Bruce sooner, like when I started investing. Yep. Welcome all to the show this morning. I'm slowly but surely catching up with you guys here. It's nice to see you here. Let's see what's going on here. Susan Shops About is saying, a missing link in my option education is how do you bring in premiums when rolling down in a falling, crashing market? Is it as simple as adjusting and lowering income premium expectations? Basically, if a stock is dropping, what you do is you buy back calls you wrote up here and write lower strike price calls to match the stock's fall. Keep tracking it, basically. And sometimes you can go from like a year out to 8 months out to 6 months out to 4 months out to 3 months out. You can compress the time frame and bring it in closer to the stock, which means each day that goes by, the new contract you've just written is depreciating at a faster rate. And if the stock wants to stabilize, you just sit tight, let it depreciate out. If the stock wants to start going up, you'll start doing roll-ups again. Interesting. Christina, Pfizer scientists are trying to mutate COVID in the lab in order to have more vaccines. BW, people say the deregulation of the airlines was its downfall. True U.S. airline downfall was when they started shutting down their own maintenance bases and shipping all maintenance overseas to contract workers. Exactly right. BW has it exactly right. Airlines have been one of the biggest offenders for unloading their own staff. They have basically contracted out almost all of their serious maintenance rebuild work. Their minimal, minor stuff is still done in various airports. Yeah, that's true. But major engine rebuild work and stuff, complete redos, no, that's done offshore now, done in Mexico, Costa Rica, done in countries where the labor costs are 1/4 of the American labor cost. It's a race to the bottom. Running planes as long as you can, maintaining them at the cheapest price possible, keeping staff off guard by not allowing a lot of your staff to become full-time employees, keeping them part-time employees, contracting out baggage services to third parties, and on it goes. And these guys are not airlines anymore. Airlines used to own their planes. They don't. They lease them now. Airlines used to have all their employees with gold watches when they retired. Most are now part-time workers, and reluctantly through union contracts are they offering decent pay to the top people. But this is the name of the game. They want to offer a cross-country flight for $199. What do you expect for $199? Top-notch everything? How are you going to get that? You're not paying for it. Now, if you fly, on Emirates, you can't fly from Boston to Washington on Emirates. That's all cut off. That is domestic only. That is U.S. only. But then again, you want to fly on an American carrier from Dubai to Rome and back, you can't do it on a U.S. airline. That's cut off too. Every country has its own little fiefdom of air travel. Well, in America, it is, of course, biased for the American carriers. And unfortunately, it's biased against its own clientele. And therein lies the issue. Americans are being ripped off with some of the worst airline services on the planet. For a Western style world, the world leader, Americans are getting screwed. It's unbelievable. Canadians are not far behind you. We're not all that impressed with what we're getting in Canada either. Seems that my light has gone out. Just bear with me, folks, as I make an adjustment here. There we go. Please make your donations as soon as you can to keep the lights on. Okay, there you go. Juan, I'm 10 minutes behind on the video. I'm watching at double speed. I am listening to the Turkey-Russia thing. I don't understand how any country accepts rubles knowing they're worthless and not accepted. Well, there you go. Beach Boy, number 127. Please ask Alberto if it's okay to start now. Bill Coyne, BW, are the planes falling out of the sky? Samuel, Uncle Bruce, good morning. Let's do a 5-day cruise for Gold Bagel members. We can all write it off, eating bagels in the Bahamas. Pulley 8. Someone told me airlines barely make any money on tickets. They have to upsell things like the class, the baggage, the food, the booze. You know it. Option Nomads, gosh, during the cold snap in December and all the baggage delays. I was thinking of the baggage workers who don't get paid anywhere near enough for that job. Exactly. They don't. They're contract workers, and they can't work overtime unless approved. It's a screwed up system like you cannot believe, and it's all allowed under the FAA because they're toothless. Remember, airlines have got lobbyists in Washington for their benefit too, and they make sure your needs are at the bottom of the list. It's the airlines' needs that are looked after. The job is pretty understaffed, ATM too, let alone low pay. JR, the downfall of shipping maintenance overseas is like anything shipped overseas. Now we're at the mercy of foreign countries, and push comes to shove, we lose. Didn't the pandemic show us that? Yes, sir. JD, to the big late they call Gitchigumi, Flint Creek. Good morning, Bagel Familia. Financial Mischief. If I were trying to buy a deep in the money call on Tesla from selling my shares, do you have a suggestion on strike I might look at? Or you said a few days ago it wouldn't be 90-10. Just trying to pick your brain a bit. Yeah, I don't know of one. I don't study the option chains on every single stock. I have no time. I cannot do it. It constantly changes. This is where you have to do your thing here. Can you find a 2024, 2025 contract on Tesla that is as close to 90-10 as possible that you can afford to buy? There's the problem. You might find a 90-10 Tesla, but it might well be that you're dealing with a $30 contract. Well, you're better off buying the stock on margin, let alone buying a deep in the money call. Because if you can buy Tesla, let's say it's 160 a share to make it a nice round number, because it's 159.90 right now, we're open. You can buy the stock at $80 a share on margin. That's, of course, maximum margin. Well, if a contract costs you $9,000 or $10,000 or $11,000, you're paying more money than you need to, where you could just do it on margin. Immediately write a contract for $20 cash and drop that margin balance down by $2,000. So you buy a $16,000 stock position, 100 shares at 160, borrow $8,000, write a call for $2,000. You're only borrowing $6,000, and so you've got 10 equity, 6 liability. Okay, Bama Babe, we recently had a baggage work to get killed here in Montgomery Airport. A worker, they got sucked into the blades. So sad, Bama Babe. Where's Larry? There is Larry. He hit it. Thank you, Larry. Beach Boy, sorry if my tardiness today, getting things ready for a protest convoy tomorrow, going up to Jerusalem in support of the Supreme Court. You're a busy man, Trucker. I'll take the 10 a.m. for a one-on-one. Payment and email has been sent. Thank you, Trucker. We'll set you up. Okay. Looking forward to seeing you. DQ, thank you, Larry. Beach Boy, DQ, you here as well. Larry, Bama Babe, currently Pensacola, in an hour, heading out to day trip to New Orleans. Beach Boy and Bama Babe. JR, them be the bells. Is Larry here? John, so if I pop at the open, trying to catch up on the feed, says JR, DQ, yep, back now, had to be offline for a bit. And Mondu GM, good morning all. Number 139, thumbs up. Bruce John Bigman, will we have a wall at $6 today? on SoFi. We have a lot to watch, as you can plainly see here. We got a lot going on. Welcome all of you to the party, and let's see how we're doing this morning. I got GameStop just under 21. Looks like Nazareth saw it already traded 21 bucks. We've got the indexes showing a gain right now. I think we have a 128 gain on the Dow. We're up right now 30 on S&P, 149 on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is up 1.25%. The Dow's up 0.38. So the Dow is only up 1/3 what NASDAQ is doing. So that's interesting. Oil up 192 at the moment, all right? Let's take a look. GameStop 2107 up 84. ATIP 48 cents. I don't see a trade yet. Tesla 159.94 up 15.51. SoFi 589 up a dime. Apple 144.07 up 221. HBQ 28.99 up 30. Google 98.54 up 181. Moderna up 51 cents to 193.50. Cisco is up 24 cents to 48.22. Pfizer down 48, which is the dividend, 44.18 right now. That's a bargain down here. $40 in the money calls, $38 in the money calls is what I'd be buying on Pfizer. I'd be loading up on those for a nice long-term hold, and I'd be writing calls on that. IBM 136.49 down 4.27 because of results yesterday. This thing wants to back off 10 bucks. A bargain of epic proportions. Pick up 120 deep in the money calls. Even 125s might be the move on IBM. There could be something there. Microsoft 245.06 up 4.45. ME up 9 cents to 2.45. Rocket Lab up 11 to 5.02. Matterport up 28.5 to 335.5. Smart Rent up 11 cents to $3. Spire up 3 to 115. Sextera up 9 265. All these former SPACs are improving nicely today. Good to see. Blair says Matterport up 10%. Bama, but Larry, did you go to Floribama? Nazareth 2116 GameStop is the high so far. Rock and roll. I'm showing now 2075. There's going to be some gyrations here. Kind of get used to that. I own GameStop at 19, says Samuel. I can write January 2025 10.95 premium and a $10 strike, which will give me 18,615. Using it to buy 3,200 SoFi. What's your take? Yeah, I wouldn't go that far out on a right. I wouldn't go that far out. Can you do a right in the 2024 neighborhood and check out premiums there if that's what you want to do? Mr. Premium on the option, Larry, stop in Biloxi on the way and have lunch at the barbecue joint called Murky Waters. Delish. Zed Estate, 141 thumbs up. Spruce, thank you. Bill, GameStop is like that pretty girl your heart beats for. She flirts, winks, and then she walks away, leaving you with nothing but dreams. BW, Bill, what's that have to do with it? Larry, Bama Babe sure did. I spent the day in Foley, Alabama shopping. We never made it all the way to Mobile. Pronounced Mobile for the benefit of Uncle Bruce, laughing out loud as planned. Mobile. Bill, BW, relax. It's called humor. Okay, we're fine. We're up 120 on the Dow, 29 on S&P, 142 on NASDAQ. We got GameStop at 2064, up 41 cents. The high of the day on GameStop for a moment was 2116. That's as high as we got right off the get-go, and we're now at 2068 at the moment. ATIP, 48 cents at the moment. I think we have 1,200 traded, nothing much yet. Tesla, 159.36. The high today, 161.42. The low, 157.59. Right now, 159.36 on Tesla. Okay. SoFi, 588 up 9. Apple, 143.80 up 194. HBQ, 28.92 up 23. Google up 177, 98.50. Moderna 193.37 up 30 cents. Cisco up 19 cents to 48.15. Pfizer 44.10 down 56. IBM down 4.97 to 135.79. Microsoft up 4.85 to 245.46. ME up 8.5 cents. Rocket Lab up 8 cents. Matterport up 21. Smart Rent up 10. Spire unchanged. Sixtera up 14. Amazon up $2. Home Depot down 14 cents. Netflix down 40 cents. Vanik up 350. Adobe up 879. Goldman up 321. Boeing down 54 cents. Meta up 430 to 145.80. AMC and Ape combined are up 22 cents. Royal Caribbean up 31 to 64.19. Puts might be bought again. BBBY up 18 cents. Carvana up 53. Robinhood up 22 cents at 9.91. Norwegian up 9. Carnival up 10 cents. Target up 143. JP Morgan up 40. Costco up 468. Walmart up 127. Disney up 101 to 109.13. Nvidia up $8 to 201.43. American Airlines up 7 cents to 16.33 a share. And that's where we're at right now. Volatility all over the place. We're going up, we're going down, going all around. 20.55 on GameStop now, 20.60 on GameStop. What else? Let's see. Susan Shops About should have bought GameStop strike $20 yesterday for $4.50. I hesitate because I was so further out and not sure about speed of decay on premium and stock drops. Longer out expiration is not great, right? Nothing wrong with longer out expirations, but let the stock show you what it really wants to do. We're 8 minutes into the market. Broke 21, couldn't hold it. Now we're 20.60. See what gives here. The Dow's only up 108. What if the Dow goes negative? GameStop could be 19.50 in an hour. No rush, Susan. Just kind of keep an eye and see what you do. JD is laughing out loud. Juan, hey, you forgot to lock the Golden Gate, keeping us lurkers out of the chatting garden. Oh, I'll get to you. I'll get you. Still holding or rolling. Maracas wrote a June 160 Tesla for 13. Should I look to roll? Well, I mean, if you can get a decent deal on it, you might take a look at it. Can you write into a 170 into September and get more money? Can you add money to your account? That would be an idea. Puke Burb, I accidentally sold some deep calls instead of buying them just now, and I lost about $600. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. JR Bill, oh, I thought you were talking about my ex here. Neat. All right, let's go to member-only chat. Thank you all, as always, for hanging around with us and being here, whether you're a lurker, subscriber, subscriber, subscriber only, member, you name it. However you're part of this channel, we love you all. But I got to tell you, if you became members, that would be the best thing of all things. We really do appreciate it if you could become a member of this channel. Memberships keep the channel alive. Just so you know, in the last month, just to kind of give you an idea what life is like. There we go. We got that done. Okay. In the last month, this channel gets paid by YouTube, for advertising that you see. The amount of advertising that we get paid is $8 a day. And that includes premium members, those who pay a premium every month not to get ads. Combine that and our ad revenue combined, this channel generates $8 a day. So I'm not here for the advertising money. There isn't any. It doesn't exist. This channel survives because of memberships. It survives because you're taking the classes. And of course, it survives because of one-on-ones. It survives because of your generosity with donations and what have you. I thank you all. However you're helping this channel out, you're great. 144 on the thumbs up meter. That helps too. Thank you all very, very much. It is much, much appreciated. All right, guys. There you have it. Nice to have you here. And thank you all for joining us and being part of this family. It's great that you're here. Okay. All righty, let's keep it going. Can we get you guys richer? That's what I'm wondering. Can we do it? Mirko, Susan Shops About, you would have sold 20 on GameStop, not bought, right? You would have sold 20 on GME. Christina, Ryan, Uncle Bruce didn't answer me. Missed a comment, maybe. Bama, Larry, did you go to Lambert's Cafe and get the rolls thrown at you? John, can you call the brokerage and reverse the trade? Bama, best place to eat in Foley. Cody, hey all, when is ATIP earnings? Is that today? Christina, Uncle Bruce, pay attention to me. I sold $145 yesterday. I got $10 for a month out. Should I still look to roll Tesla? Can you? Have you looked at the chain, and can you? I mean, if you've written close in, you can easily move up a month or two and get more money. You've got to be able to do that. By all means, yes. Can you move into 160s, 155s, 165s? Can you write 170s for 3 months out? Can you step it up? Why not? Bama Babe, Larry, are you still coming through Montgomery? Susan, Merkel, yes, I should have done a right/sell that sold. I bought the $5 leap June 2, 2025 for $14.97. BW, ATIP earnings 7th of March. ATIP earnings. We're at 48 cents last I saw on ATIP. 5,200 traded, I think, unchanged at the moment. At 48 cents. GameStop 2046 up just 23 cents. Dow's up 142. Tesla 159.46 up 15. SoFi 584 up 5 cents. Apple up 186 to 143.72. HBQ 28.94 up a quarter. Marcus, Uncle Bruce, when rolling over, I want to move strike price up and add money. If stock moves up aggressively, is it better to take a loss equal to the original premium to move up and strike, or more very far out? I wouldn't go that far if necessary. I would even do this. If you wrote, let's say you wrote Tesla 120s, and you can do a rollover to Tesla 140s, you're still behind the market, but moving up $20, and it gives you $5 cash as well. I'd make that move. To go to 150s, if it would cost you $5 cash, not necessary at this time. If the shares want to go from 160, where they are now, to 180, you'll go from 140s to 160 later, and you'll get another $5 cash. Just trail it. Go with it. Follow it. Follow it. Follow it. You'll do staged roll-ups. You can do that as well. All right. You may not be able to do it in one shot, and that it's not necessary. Larry, Bama Babe, no, we did more shopping than eating for a change. We had a home-cooked meal in Pensacola. J&J, Southwest Airlines dropping like a ton of bricks, expected to post losses. Dow's up 100 points. We're backing off on the Dow Jones index at this point. GameStop 2028 backing up. We're only up a nickel now on GameStop. High of the day, 21.16. Absolutely fascinating to see how this market has opened and how it's backed off. It's the classic dead cat bounce on GameStop this morning. 2024 up 1 penny. Dow up 91. S&P up 22. NASDAQ up 117. ATIP is higher, 48.3, 0.3 of a penny higher. Tesla, 157.19 up 12. Little pullback coming here. This is why roll-ups are important. SoFi, 579, 580 up a penny. Apple up 160. HBQ up 23. The markets are backing up a little bit right now. Could be a sell program. Could be 15 minutes into the market. We're running out of steam. We'll see what gives. Thank you all for joining in. Let's go. What else? Sorry, where are we? Okay, DQ, BW. Blakely, Fidelity is showing ATIP earnings as of Feb 23rd. Mirko, Susan shops about. Okay, that's good. The other way around could have been a mistake. Deep value looks like NASDAQ is getting hit a little bit. Cody says, DQ, thank you very much. Sean and Wendy, Larry, this is our shoe spot, Foley. Where the price is discounted when you went. Where there are discounts? BW. The NASDAQ website says March 3rd. JR, Yahoo Finance is saying the move is up because GDP beat expectations. Wonder how long that will last. Cody, yeah, I saw March via Google, but I thought that couldn't be right. Tiff, I bought back my Tesla 125 strike expiring tomorrow for $35.26, and I sold a 130 expiring April for $37.34. Not sure if the trade was a good trade. Well, that's $5 more, and you added a buck or so to your pocket. Stock's 157. You're going at 167 right now with a $37 premium on a 130 stock. So there's $10 of slippage available there to you at the moment if the stock just stays here. Splair, looks like the power nap from me that ended directly 2 minutes after the markets were closed yesterday Was bringing everywhere a pump where I invested once at least this year. I'm not sure what that all means, but you got a good nap in there. Way to go. Cody, March 7th, actually, but previous was November 8th. So February sounds right, says Cody. BW story, March 7th, third month. Dang it, it's just too early for someone who doesn't work anymore. Marcus rolled over my Tesla 127, my January 27 140s to April 150s at a $5 premium, $15 up, and 145s to April 160s with a $4 premium boost plus $19 up. Nice going, Marcus. These rollovers, classically, he's pulling them off every time. That's the way you do it. This is what it's about. DQ, Cody, until ATP announces the date, it's all a guess anyway. Christina, doesn't look good. If I move from February 24, 145 for a buyback of 1850 to March 17, 150, it only goes for 18. Another month and up $5 for that. Now folding my arms. Okay, all right. BW, whatever. Bobby, DKNG turn red now. Arms folded. I still guess. Cody, DQ. Oh, yeah. I thought the 13-week report was some kind of a rule. Thanks again. DQ. NASDAQ says ATI Physical Therapy is estimated to report earnings on 3/7. The upcoming earnings date is derived from an algorithm based on the company's historical reporting dates. There you go. That's it. 65-point gain on the Dow. GameStop up 7 cents. ATIP 47 cents. Down a penny. Tesla 157.90 up 13.47. SoFi 580 up a penny. Apple up 171. HPQ up 20 cents. Google up 1.5. Moderna down $1.30. Cisco up 15. Pfizer down 54. IBM down 5.16. Microsoft up 2.31. ME up 4. Rocket Lab up 5 cents. Matterport up 25.5 to 3.32. And a half. SmartRent 295 up 6. Spire down 4 cents. Cyxtera up a dime. There's the markets right at the moment, everybody. Are you having fun? Yeehaw. Our vendor, DQ says, our vendor, Zax, might revise this date in the future once the company announces the actual earnings date. Yeah, we'll find out. Find out soon enough what they have to say and when they have to say it. ATIP volume is now 12,700 shares. We're trading at 47 cents a piece at the moment. A GameStop at 20.31 up 8. Tesla back up to 159.25, 14.82. SoFi 580 is up 1 penny at this time. The Dow up 35. We've got S&P up 18. Hold on a second. Let me refresh. The Dow, yep, we're up 32 on the Dow. We are now 18 on the S&P, and NASDAQ up 122. The NASDAQ's up 1.08%. The Dow's up 0.09%. It is not doing. It's 1/10 of the NASDAQ market. S&P up 0.46 of a percentage point. Oil up 176 at 81.91. All righty. Let's see. Larry, Sean, and Wendy, I have a friend who is starting her nursing career next month. She went shopping for scrubs and other odds and sods. JR, watch out. Indices are weakening. Futures are sinking, and the VIX is climbing. We got a pullback maybe? Deuce. The last couple of earnings calls for ATIP contain zero good news. If we can get just a piece of good news, I think we go to $1. Susan Merkel, I am sure a simpleton here, laugh out loud, and for sure I am a simpleton and really testing my mettle on GameStop. It has 20% short float that's reported, not including hedge fund non-reported synthetic stocks can rocket or dump. Any stock can do that with those kinds of numbers. Yeah, we're negative on the Dow, by the way. We're down 10 points now on the Dow Jones. We have backed off to a red position here. Let's see. 12-point gain on S&P, only 99 on NASDAQ now. And that is where we're at. Headline and Barron's, American Airlines, JetBlue, both post record revenue. They are upbeat about 2023. I don't think so. They might think they're upbeat, but I don't know if they can deliver the goods on this. We'll find out. Tesla 157.79 up 13. GameStop is now down 4 cents. SoFi down a penny. Apple up 131. HPQ only up a nickel. There's reasons to do rollovers, and then there are reasons to fold your arms. And let's see how this works out as we go through these gyrations in these markets. Down 27 on the Dow now. Okay. So Sean and Wendy, Larry, tell her we said congrats. Right on. All right. We got as high on Tesla as 161.42. We're at 157.57, still up $13 on the day. PE multiple 48.6 on Tesla. It's not a cheap stock even at these prices, and record revenues, 48 times earnings, just so you know. Company can grow, though, dramatically, and will all this year, but its PE multiple right now is 48. So there has got to be a very good future to keep supporting these levels. GameStop back -2, was up 2, now -2. 47.7 on ATIP, only down 0.3 of a penny. It's coming back up again. SoFi 577 down 2 cents. Apple 143.29 up 143. HBQ -3. Pulse Guitar, Uncle Bruce gets 2 thumbs up from me today. Both accounts smash that thumbs up button. Thank you so much, my friends. We have 155 thumbs ups today. We're behind yesterday's pace. If any of you have the ability to hit that thumbs up button, please do so for us and get us closer to the 200 mark that we crave every morning. It's getting harder and harder to hit 200 thumbs ups every morning, but the afternoon show, it's getting easier and easier to hit 100 thumbs ups. It's kind of weird, but it's interesting to see how it works. 158 on the thumbs up now. We are now 42 away from 200 thumbs ups. Thank you all. Here's 162, 38 to go. Bring them on, kids. Thank you so much for this support. Let the world know we're here and we're making money. Come and join the party, pal. We dare you to make money around here. It's what we're doing. Giddy up. All right. Tesla surges 10%. Optimism for the future is driving gains. Nokia earnings top expectations as India powers 5G growth. Stock climbs. Tesla stock rises above this key chart level. First time in 4 months is a headline. There's a clickbait headline for you. See how that plays. 166 thumbs ups, 34 away from the coveted 200 mark. Thank you all for helping out, getting us there. 168, 32 to go. They keep coming through here. Thank you, and thank you 168 times to all of you helping out right here on this channel. We appreciate it. Rocket Lab is down a half a penny. We've got SoFi down 3. We have Matterport up 11, at 23andMe up 2, Spire down 4, ATIP down third of a penny, SmartRent up 2, Sextera up 8.5, Apple up 145, Goldman up 214, Cisco down 4, Tesla up 12, ARC up 33 cents, Microsoft up 269, Bed Bath Beyond up 7 cents. Pfizer down 56, HPQ down 7, Google up 113, Amazon up 159. That's what's going on there with the market right at this second in time. Some sell waves have obviously come through the market, and we're watching those closely. The pattern yesterday was red on Microsoft earnings, says Alex, recovering later. Today, maybe we'll go green early on Tesla and drop later. Maybe that'll happen. Mirko, Susan, we're all simpletons. Just wanted to make sure you didn't do something you might regret afterwards. We are helping each other here if we can. Buy and sell gets confusing after often starting. Deep value, NASDAQ seems to want to stay above the other 2 indexes. Mirko, other options. All right, Alberto, Marcus, nice work. Who cares says, coming in late. Good morning, everybody. Alex, Pulse Guitar, don't injure them digits, pal. Pulse, just warming those digits up for some shredding soon. Cody, is it time? Is it just me, Uncle Bruce, or are some of these earnings sounding like the kind that took a few backflips to publish? And while it's possible also, Cody, that we're getting earnings reports that are better than expected because they were downgraded. There was lowered expectations and they beat lowered expectations, and people are trying to spin this positively when in reality, they're making less money than last year. Marcus, thank you. Alberto, learn from the master, Uncle Bruce. Alberto, I'll roll my 155s once we're in the 180s. If it gets up there, I'm certain all the positive news is to driving Tesla. Get it? Driving. Susan, just to point out, SoFi has a 12% short float, so hedge fund games could still play out on our beloved SoFi. We will be fine either way they play. Long term, JP Morgan is following SoFi now. DQ, boo, says DQ to Alberto. Marcus, in the past, I would be closing my losing short calls at a loss and sweating. Now I roll over and smile. What a difference. It is completely a different dimension. Right on, Marcus. Nice going. Dow's down 68 points. GameStop down 16 cents to 2007 or so. ATIP down a penny to 47. Tesla is up 11 at 155.90. We're backing up a bit here. SoFi 572 down 7 cents. Apple is now up 118 to 143.04. HBQ down 11. Zeta State, Uncle Bruce, I have 2,200 shares of GameStop, and I want to switch to poor man covered calls. How would you proceed with this best practice? Well, if you can get your hands on these January 2025 10s at a good price, again, the 90-10 rule, keep an eye on those. I'll just see if I can get my big-ass iPad to wake up and see if I can get a quote on these. January 2025 10s showing right now 1075 to 1130. Last trade 1120. They're worth 1006 as of the moment. That's their value, 1006. So if you can get them under 11, good deal. I would just go in there at that 1080 level and see if you get hit, and sell 500 shares, try to buy 8 or 9 or 10 of the calls, sell another batch, and do, just kind of in stages. When you get your poor man covered calls, write against them right away. Maybe write 20s, $21 calls, good for a month or 2 or 3, bring in as much as you can. If you're going to write, say, I don't know, let's say you write April calls. I'm just throwing this up as a generic rule. You can write 21 25s and get almost $350 for them. That might be a nice little trade for a $10, $50, $11 acquisition of a deep in the money call. Not a bad move. You can always write 20s, which are at the money. You'll bring in 445, 440, but that's at the money. There's no cushion there. You want to write 2250s, you can get 335 on April's. If you want to go further out to like May contracts for more money in your pocket, 2125s, you might get 435. 2250s, you might get 350, 360. And that might be worthy of another trade. Deuce Caboose, the 560 mark for SoFi is strong, keeps bringing her back down. Cody, I'm still holding on an old leap on SoFi. I'm trying to decide if I want to cash it just before or after earnings and then reposition, of course. Well, time will tell here. We're down 51 on the Dow, down 16 on GameStop. We're ATIP down a penny. Tesla is at 155.56, up 11.13. SoFi at 572, down 7 cents. Apple 143.24, up 138. HBQ down a nickel. Google up 93. Moderna down 176. Cisco down 9. Pfizer down 52. Apple down 522. Microsoft up 240. ME up 1.3 cents. Rocket Lab down 4.5. Matterport up 14. SmartRent up a penny. Spire down 5. Cyxtera up 9 at the moment. Amazon up 124. Okay. All right. Let's see what this market does. Thumbs ups now, 173, 27 left to get to hit 200 thumbs ups. Thank you all for coming through for us. It is much appreciated. JJ, sell puts on a down day. SoFi, oh no. I mean, theoretically, but just buy the stock. Just buy the stock. Get ready. Good days are coming. You just got to be patient, though. You guys have got to have this patience. This is the toughest thing you guys are having to learn, of course. Fold your arms. Wait it out. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Down 48 on the Dow, up 9.5 on S&P. NASDAQ up 79. All right. Rock and Roll Barons is saying that Tesla's earnings reveal its plans for world domination. They're on track. Stock is rising. The Tesla stock price target has been raised to 155 from 130 at Bank of America Securities. Neutral rating maintained. That's the story. The U.S. economy grew at 2.9% at the end of 2022. GDP shows, but don't look for a repeat. That's what it says. Okay. All righty. 2006 on your GameStop. Up 1090 on the Tesla at 155.39. SoFi down 7. Okay. Uncle Bruce, when do you eat breakfast? I have a little yogurt before I go on the air. It kind of tides me over. And of course, I got my big, giant, honking triple coffee here. These are 3 pods of coffee right here. So keeps me going, keeps me filled too. So I don't get, I don't become dying for hunger yet. Steady Mystic, thank you for this $2 donation. BTO, what was that? Bought to open, one Pfizer, September 15 expiry, 40 calls at 6:15. Is that good? Bought to open, let's see what we got again here. Okay, you bought a $40 call for September, and you paid $6.15 for it. Okay, I think I figured this out. $4.08 of book value. You paid too much for it. If you could have bought it at $4.50 or less, that would have been a perfect price. But $6.15 is expensive. Now, you can write immediately against this call. Don't worry about that. Certainly, you can write if you want. But you've only bought a September call. You didn't go out to 2025, or it doesn't look like you bought a 2024, did you? I don't know. When does this expire exactly? What year? That's expensive. So, yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. Pulse Guitar, just got a notification from my SoFi app. Pay in 4 is here. 100 to 500, 4 interest-free payments. $100 to $500, 4 interest-free payments. Interesting. DQ, a not caffeine-free Diet Coke, mind blowing. That's here. The caffeine-free Diet Coke is right here after the coffee. Yeah, oh yeah, it's waiting. It's in the wings. Don't worry. Robert Bruce, 176. You're only 24 away from 200. Matthew, have a good day, folks. Go Matterport and ATIP. Couldn't agree more with that. We are still looking at a negative 25 on the Dow. We're down 9 on GameStop. ATIP's down a penny. Tesla is still up 1264, 1248 now, 156.91. SoFi 574, down a nickel. Apple up 121. HBQ down 6 cents. Okay. Let's see. Cody, how do you feel about synthetic longs in general, Bruce? Sell a put. Use the premium to buy a call. Both with lots of time, of course. Worst case, you pick up shares on the cheap. I ignore it. I just don't pay attention to any of it. I believe in the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, is what I believe in. Just buy the stock or buy deep in the money calls on the qualifying stocks here and write covered calls. And that's all you pay attention to. Forget the rest. Zero in on one thing and get good at it. And stay on top of these option chains to really be on top of what you're doing. If you're going to go full time in option writing, you can't be frazzled by 15 different things. You've got to zero in on what you do the best. And what you should be good at is an option writer. You should be a good option writer. You can make a phenomenal living being an option writer, but you've got to discipline yourself to stop with the other nonsense. Just zero in on that one area, because it is treacherous if you don't. And there are days where, without you knowing it, by not paying attention to the subtleties of the market, you kiss off thousands of dollars in gains. When you get to 50 to 100 to 200 to 500 contracts on 2 or 3 or 4 different stocks, You can't afford to be frazzled all over the place. Zero in to max out your ownership of deep in the money calls, write calls till the cows come home, and get rid of the day job and become a prolific option writer and forget the secondary stuff. Goal scorers in the NHL score goals. They don't pick fights with goons. Goalies stop shots. They don't take breakaways up the center ice. You gotta get good at one thing, and that is be an option writer and go nowhere else. Go absolutely nowhere else. Stay in your lane, become good at it, and get prolifically rich by doing it. Look at ATIP 48 unchanged again on ATIP. Go, baby. Love that. All right. Let's see what else. Deuce Caboose, Pulse Guitar told my buddy about SoFi's interest rate. He moved his money there and called me a few days later, stunned. His paycheck is showing up 3 days early. Told all his colleagues. BW, while big tech is laying off thousands, Chipotle just announced plans to hire 15,000 new workers. The future is burritos. Grit investing. Deuce, word of mouth is powerful for SoFi. Takes time though. Pulse Guitar, that's what I'm talking about. Splair, NASDAQ looks like it would go climbing, while down SP looked like they're a dead cat. Ed Hawkins, Bruce, Uncle Bruce, can you switch to the red sweater for the afternoon show? I'd like a little more dip for the buyback. Alex, love this advice. Do one thing really, really well, not lots of things, just okay. Cody, I get what you're saying, Uncle Bruce. I'm just trying to grow a smaller account. Yeah, you cannot rush things. You can't make it go faster than anybody else. There's no rule that says you're going to make way more money percentage-wise than someone who knows what they're doing with a larger account. There's no way. You're going to grow your account at a certain speed. And I'm not mad at you, by the way. I'm just telling you, the fact is you've got to become a prolific option writer and make your money that way. And spend your time watching chains and don't rush it. I know you small investors are trying to push to get to greatness. You can't push to get to greatness. You got to learn this trick right here. Smaller investors have to be more patient than big investors to protect yourself against mistakes. This is why I tell you to write out of the money calls down the road several months. I'm pushing you to get way more money in your account now. Fold your arms and let it come your way in dollars. You won't be small very long. Let's see, dude, Uncle Bruce, I'm here busy writing. I got a strategy right now. Strategies spicy. Number 180, Bruce, only 20 to go. Deep value. Thank you for that, Uncle Bruce. Focus one thing at a time. Nazareth, Cody, you also want to grow a larger account. Don't try and grow smaller. Cody, I didn't think you were mad at all, Uncle Bruce. I appreciate the advice. Right on, pal. It's all good. Look, I love the passion that people have here. I really do. It's what makes this channel work. The family here for everyone. We want to make money. That's the bottom line. Sometimes the market gives it to us easy. Sometimes it makes us really grind it out. And you've got to be prepared to go both ways. Being an option writer, you are a grinder. It's what you are. It's what you're becoming. But you're a consistently winning grinder, as opposed to consistently losing grinder. There are option players out there who lose, trade after trade after trade after trade. They're giving you their money. They don't know it, but they're collectively throwing it into the pot, and it finds its way into your account, and you're paying bills with it. You're growing your account with it. You're buying new deep in the money calls with it, and you're building it up, and it's exciting. I am so pumped. Spare, keep in mind when you get depressive on your day trades, then you can have bad luck in options as well. If you focus on options, you get better gains without emotional stress. Dude, Uncle Bruce, it's strategery. That's the word. Karen, every mistake I make is when I act when I shouldn't have. And there it is. That's it. Try not to make stupid mistakes. That's the game plan. We're down 75 on the Dow. We were up to start. We're negative. We're down 11 on GameStop. We were up to 21 something. Now we're negative. ATIP 47 cents. We're between 47 48 all morning here on ATIP. 21,200. You tell me where it's going. Tesla 156.04 up 11.61 after hitting a high of 161.42. We've given up about $5.50 so far. from the high, but it's still up 1180. SoFi 572 down 7. Apple 142.77 up only 91 cents. We're backing up. HBQ is down a dime. Google up 106. Cisco up down a penny. Pfizer down 58. IBM down 614. Microsoft up 288. ME up 1 penny. Rocket Lab down 5. Matterport now up 17 to 324. Smart Rent up 3. Spire down 4.5. Cyxtera up 8. That's what we got going here on this market. Oil is backing up. We're up 99 cents, but we're backing up there a little bit more. 47-point drop on the Dow, 9-point gain on S&P, 77 gain on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is not joining the sell-off in any big way. There you go, BW. That's what she said. DQ. My mistakes are mostly a lack of impulse control on my part. Alex, dude, trying to say it like that scrambled my brain. Pulse, slow and steady. Currently have 2 GameStops in a month. I'll get a bonus. I'll be able to afford another 4 or 5 lots of GameStop. Then write maybe 1 month out contracts for $2 to $3 that expire faster. Example, 250 times $7, $1,750. Pulse Guitar, begin to see a big difference here. A Steady Mystic. How about this BTO? 1 Pfizer, January 17, 2025 expiry, 40 call. How about that? Let's see. Let's take a look at Pfizer on that call. Can I pull that up over here? Where am I? Hang on. I'll do this over here if I can. Can I? Could I? Would it work? Let's see. Used to be a lot easier. It's not that easy anymore. Hang on here. Thank you all for joining me and being around here. Where am I now? Okay. Okay, hang on. Let's do this over here. Okay. Let's go here. Okay. There we are. Pfizer now 44.09. Options on Pfizer. January 2025's Pfizer 40s are at 835 bid and they're worth 408. Can't buy those. Too expensive on the 90-10 rule. 35s are 1135. They're worth $9.07. They're about $1 too much. 3250s are worth now $11.50. And they're going for $13.15. They're just 60-70 cents too much, but close. June 2024's. The 40s are $7.50. They're worth $4.06. Too expensive. Again, I'm going off bid only. The 35s are $10.80. They're $9.06 value. I'd be buying those at $10. 3250s are $11.50 in the money. They're at $12.90, $12.50, $12.70 would be my price. They're at $12.90. They're close to the 10% rule. There's a couple there that are close. I'd put in stink bids on these just in case, but keep an eye on the price of the stock to make sure you're still in the 90-10 neighborhood. Sometimes you can get these easily. Sometimes it takes a little bit of work to get your hands on them at the price you want to pay. So Steady Mystic, you're on the right track here. Just keep your eyes open on these. But those Januaries are too expensive. They're just, no, you don't want to pay $4 book value or $3.50 book value on a $4 contract. No. Alex, time to collect the kids. See you all in the next show. Thanks, Alex. Robert, I'm getting better and better month by month. I noticed patience and not being greedy as a good way forward. I'm slowly building thanks to all the good advice streaming from young Bruce's channel. Deep value NASDAQ. I'm not sure what's going on here. Splair, I looked through the chart from Tesla. Looks like after 157.8, there's a lot of air until 169 where it starts dropping fast. Dude, it's from Will Ferrell's Bush impersonation. Yes, strategery. I love it. That was so funny. I know. JR, pay attention, peeps. Believe me, trying way too many stocks to strategies has my brain frazzled, and then I don't make good decisions. Fold arms, roll over correctly, all that stuff. He tells the truth to everyone. Cody, yeah, I had your stock market down to a cool $8,000, laughing out loud. We are right here at this moment looking at the Dow down 20, up 20, pardon me. We're up 20 on the Dow. A reversal has come in. We've gone green on the Dow. We're now 10 points to the green, 20 points green on S&P, 117 on NASDAQ. We've had a buy wave come through on the market. All right. GameStop is up a nickel at 2027. Will it last? I don't know. ATIP is at 47. Tesla up to 158.20, up 13.77. A buy wave has come in. SoFi down a nickel. Apple up 139. HBQ positive, +3. Now +7, 28.76. Google up 148. Moderna holding a loss of 3.35. Cisco up 21 cents. Pfizer down 56. IBM down 6.49. Microsoft up $4. ME up 4.5. Rocket Lab only down 2 now. Matterport up 22 again, 3.29. SmartRent up 5. Spire down 4. Cyxtera up 9. Okay. There you go. By the way, Splair says HBQ $22 strike in August. What would be a good price for a call like that? HBQ's up 28.74 price. The 22s are in the money, 674. 750 or less, 760 or less would be the price. That would be a 90-10 rule right there. Deep value, Citadel couldn't keep the NASDAQ down, apparently. The Dow up 26, S&P up 21, NASDAQ up 123. We are rising on the 3 indexes right now. Oil up 58 cents. U.S. new home sales rise by 2.3% despite broader sector weakness. That's a headline that just came through. We'll get more details on that in a little while. GameStop +7 to 2030 right now. Tesla up $14, 158.56. JR, it was always so fun to see what W would say, kind of like Orange Boy saying stuff like bigly, hugely, etc. No kidding. Interesting stuff. I know that once Bush retired, left the White House, he went on speaking tours, did a book, made a lot of money. Trump right now, not making a dime on speaking tours, any kind of a book, because he might run again, so it's not time to do that. Interesting to see how it's different between one and the other. All righty. What else is going on? This makes me struggle here. JR, VIX jumping around today. Been like never seen this before. 32-point gain on the Dow, 9-penny gain on GameStop. Tesla up 14.15 to 158.58. SoFi down 6. Apple up 182. HBQ up 8. Welcome to the volatility game, kids. It's volatile. This is where stink offers, stink bids come in handy. Sometimes buying deep in the money calls, sometimes selling calls for a nice premium, sometimes buying them back. Stink bids, stink offers are your friend. They save lives. And once you get into the 20, 30, 40, 50 call at a time business, 10 cents difference, that's a lot of money. 10 cents on the bid, 10 cents on the offer, a 20-cent spread on 50 contracts, $1,000 in your pocket or not in your pocket. It gets serious. And if you're doing that every week or two, it is a lot of money per year. It is a ton of money per year. We got to stay on top of that. Take my classes, learn all about stink bids, and learn all about deep in the money call writing and everything else. I think lesson 11 for deep in the money calls, the 90-10 rule, lesson number 11 will get you there. I believe that's the one that's the one that covers that. As I try to stay on top of all these markets, lesson 11, using poor man cover call writing strategies to quit your day job. Yes, stock option rollovers and strategies number 12. You got to take those. Absolutely. 13, stink offers, stink bids, and the psychology of the markets. Oh, yeah. Number 13 and number 14, how to maximize profits from writing call options. Got to have those classes. You got to invest. The more you invest in yourself, the more you're going to get paid by yourself. It's as simple as that. All right. Thank you all. We're up 31 on the Dow. GameStop up 18 now, 2041. Nice improvement. The low of the day on GameStop was $20.01. That was the low trade today. Wouldn't go to 20. We're back to 2041, up 18 now. Interesting day. And we've got the Dow holding a gain of 14, S&P up 20, NASDAQ up 123 points. All righty. Volume on GameStop today, 688,000 shares. Volume on ATIP, 21,700. We have SoFi at 573, down 6 on a volume of 7.1 million. Quiet day on SoFi, waiting earnings. Apple up 169 to 143.55. HBQ up 4. Google up 142 right now. Cisco up 24. Pfizer still down 63 cents. IBM down 645. Microsoft up 375. ME up 3.5. Rocket Lab down 4. Matterport up 22.5. SmartRent up 7. Spire down 4. Cyxtera at 264, up 8 cents. Welcome to the party, everybody. That's what's going on here. A lot happening as usual. 187 thumbs ups are in. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Let us know what number you are. 13 more, and we've got 200 thumbs ups. Thank you, everyone. The grind is on today to get to 200. We are begging hard today to get to 200 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys, for helping out. If you can't, where do you guys see SoFi going after earnings? That's the proverbial question before, during, and after. We all ask. I see a 90% chance in the next 90 days, SoFi being much higher than where it is now. Only a 10% chance that it's not higher from where it is now. That's my personal opinion. That's all. That's all it is. Dude, SoFi, I got exercised on 3 GameStop calls the other day. I wrote in December. I bought 300 today, and I wrote again. I raised my strike, and I brought in more premium, all thanks to Uncle Bruce's lessons. Right on, dude. Way to go, man. 3 calls, premium money coming in. Yes. Get paid to be a shareholder, and even if you get exercised, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right on. Beautiful stuff, dude. That's what I love to see. That's what I love to see. Deep value, those shares are going higher. SoFi, they're going up, baby. They're going up. Look at the Dow. It is going up. 66-point gain on the Dow again. Climbing. We're up 26 in S&P. NASDAQ up 142. We're climbing on all the indexes. We're moving up. 31-cent gain on your GameStop now. 2054. The high today, 2117. 158.79 on Tesla. 1436. We're climbing. SoFi only down 4 cents. We are coming on. Apple 143.95 up 209. We are climbing. We are climbing on the markets. Okay. Kareem, Uncle Bruce, no breakfast today? Kind of want to hear you crunched in that microphone. Jennifer is not yet able to produce a bagel and deliver a bagel. Not with that walker. Not happening yet. And so it's all good. Today is therapy day. And we're looking forward to further progress. She's making it. Yesterday actually was the first day since before the operation. We went to Costco together, and she just used her cane to go from the car to the electric vehicle to shop and reverse walk back to the vehicle using just a cane. That was huge. That was huge progress, but limited endurance, and it's coming. It really is. Thanks to all of you for helping out with the cost of the operation. Thank you. Can't wait for next year. We'll get the other one done and improve her mobility even more. It's coming. It really is coming along. Dude, instead of worrying about rolling up the contract, I actually lucked out. I brought in double the original premium from the first right. Nice job, Spare. Wouldn't it be a good idea to buy Jan 2024 $4 calls on SoFi at 250 to 260? They're way over the 90-10 rule. So no. Cody, I love hearing that assignment is happening. Feels like the kind of thing that would really indicate shorts are under pressure. Dude, in 2021, Uncle Bruce had to eat a bagel for the market to move. A Splair. And then at 750 or higher, cashing in and writing, nope, I would not be buying calls on SoFi. Karim, wow, on a cane already. That is excellent news. Deep, Uncle Bruce, Deep Value Bruce, have you tried the full self-driving or autopilot yet on the car? It doesn't have that feature. It has a definite cruise control, and it also has a self-driving down the roadway control. I have used that, but I prefer to steer it myself. But I love using cruise control on it. I really do love using the cruise because it monitors the cars in front of you and all that. Yeah, great car, but it doesn't have a call from the parking lot. It doesn't have self parking. It's not that, no, but I don't mind what I have. I'm very happy with this Model Y. Beautiful car, rides great, fast, two twin engines. Oh man, two motors. Oh, it's quick. Love it. 2028 up a nickel on GameStop. We're backing off on GameStop all of a sudden very quickly here. We're up 55 on the Dow though. Still at 47 on ATIP. Tesla 158.64 up 14.22. SoFi down 6. Apple up 181. We're backing up right now on some of these stocks. 2026 on GameStop, just up only 3 cents now on GameStop. It is moving about. There's obviously sell programs, buy programs, volatility. Welcome to the party, pal. That's what's going on here. And we just have to be used to it. Many of you are thumbs ups, 191. We are 9 away from the promised land of 200 thumbs ups. We have less than 3 minutes to go, and our show is technically done or so. Thank you all for coming in for us and hitting these thumbs ups to get me to 200 thumbs ups. Thank you all. It's so appreciated. You know what it means to us. Thank you, everybody, for this. Okay. Fantastic. All keep them coming. Let's get her going. Absolutely. Giddy on up. I love it. Love it. And I love it. All right. Let's see. We've got, let's go. Christina had back surgery on Tuesday. I'm up and about. I don't know if I'm a fast healer or it's the meds, laughing out loud. It's the meds. Mr. Premium. Mr. Premium, the option just rolled. AAL moved up $4 in strike and a 210 profit. Deep value. It doesn't get any better than Model Y with dual motors. That's my dream car. Christina, I'm currently cleaning but not bending. Okay. Splayer, okay, you're right. When multiplying 4 times 520, it would cost $12.50 instead of $7.50 for the DHBQ August. Got it. Alrighty. Up 41 on the Dow, up just a nickel on SoFi right now, 2028. ATIP down a penny at 47, 158.89 on Tesla, up 14.46. SoFi up down 9 cents again to 5.90. Had a little recovery, backed off. Apple up 157, had a little recovery, backed off. HBQ up 6. Google up 134. Cisco up 30. Pfizer down 78. Keep an eye on those deep in the money calls. The lower Cisco goes, the more contracts may back off faster than the stock is dropping, and there might be opportunities for that 90-10 rule on Pfizer. Always be watching the option chain up and down from June forward, 2024, 2025s if you can. IBM down 582. Keep an eye on deep in the money calls there. Microsoft up 427. ME up 2.5, Rocket Lab down 3.5, Matterport up 21, SmartRent up 4, Spire down 4, Cyxtera up 8 cents. Okay, there you go, Spire. All right, y'all, have a good and successful day today. Absolutely. Don't forget, this is Thursday. We'll be back on today at 3 o'clock for the final hour of training. Join me then. We have 199 thumbs ups. Thank you guys for getting me here. Bruce, here's a $10 donation. This one is for the lurkers. Uncle Bruce, may they learn to write and make that money. We need more Gold Bagel members. Thank you all. Those of you who are Gold Bagel members, who are becoming Gold Bagel members, improving your moving up in from the basic level to the Gold Bagel level. Thank you all. Appreciate that. The Gold Bagel level is climbing on the membership bit there. We appreciate it. Thank you for those who are subscribing to this channel, those who get people to subscribe to this channel. Thank you. We appreciate it. Cody, smash that like. Somebody's got to be number 200. Mirko, deep value investing. Take a look at KIA EV6 GT in performance beats the Tesla and even the Porsche Taycan. Price is crazy low. Deuce Caboose just saw Matterport providing digital twins for John Deere operations. That's a big win. Interesting. The Jeff's so close. John, thanks everybody. Thank you, John Anderson. Cody, got it. Way to go, everybody. Bruce has 200 thumbs plus thumbs up and more. 203 have come in. Thank you all for 203 thumbs ups. Appreciate this. Thank you for these donations to the channel. Thank you for becoming members and Gold Bagel members and taking the classes and one-on-ones. All of that. Thank you all so much for your continued support of this YouTuber. It's much, much appreciated. I will be back on at 3 o'clock Eastern today for the final hour of trading. We'll watch it together. GameStop is up a dime right now. ATIP down just a penny. Tesla up 14.08. SoFi down 7. Apple up 154. HBQ up 3. And Google at $98 up 127. Cisco up 30. Thank you all for that. All right, guys, I will say my goodbye. That's it for now. I'll catch you later at 3 o'clock. Have a good one, everybody. Bye for now.